Rock and roll has always been unpredictable. The biggest bands in the world have walked off stage mid-song, been dragged away by police, or watched their own shows descend into chaos. Some incidents became legend, others nearly ended careers. Here are 12 rock bands forced off stage. Number 12, Guns N' Roses. July 2nd, 1991. Axl Rose spotted a fan with a camera in the crowd at Riverport Amphitheater in Maryland Heights, near St. Louis. Without warning, he dove off stage and attacked the man directly. Security failed to intervene, and Axl grabbed the microphone to deliver a now infamous message. Thanks to the lame-ass security, I'm going home. He walked off. The crowd erupted into a full-scale riot. Over 60 people were injured, including 25 police officers. Seats were destroyed, and fires were set. Damage exceeded $200,000.
Lame-ass security, I'm going home.
Axl was charged with 4 counts of assault and 1 count of property damage. The band was banned from St. Louis for over 2 decades, not returning until 2017. The Riverport riot became one of the most violent incidents in rock history. Number 11, Metallica. August 8, 1992. Metallica was at the peak of their commercial power. The Black Album had already sold millions. They were co-headlining the Guns N' Roses Stadium Tour and playing Montreal's Olympic Stadium to over 50,000 fans. During Fade to Black, James Hetfield walked into the path of a pyrotechnic charge that had been repositioned for the show. The explosion sent flames 12 feet into the air. James suffered second and third-degree burns to his left arm, hand, and face.
We have these flashes of magnesium that burns at 1,200 degrees, 1,800 degrees, who knows?
He was rushed to the hospital immediately. The band was forced to cancel weeks of tour dates. John Marshall of Metal Church filled in as rhythm guitarist while James recovered, returning to the stage 17 days later in Phoenix to handle vocals only.
I walk back out there, a big colored flame goes right up under me, and instantly I, squint and turn.
Number 10, Guns N' Roses. The same night in Montreal, after Metallica's disaster, Guns N' Roses was supposed to salvage the show. Instead, they made everything worse. Axl Rose arrived on stage over 2 hours late. The crowd of 50,000 had already been traumatized by watching James Hetfield burn.
Axl's monitor system wasn't to his liking. Then Storm 2 of the evening kind of happened.
They needed the headliner to deliver. Axl complained of voice problems and monitor issues throughout a truncated set. After roughly 45 minutes, he told the crowd he couldn't continue and walked off. The combination of Metallica's accident and Axl's walkout pushed fans over the edge.
Threw it down, walked off stage. Axl didn't want to be outdone, and that's when all hell broke.
They rioted outside Olympic Stadium, overturning police cars and setting fires. Over 300 officers were deployed, 2 disasters in one night. Montreal 1992 became infamous in rock history.
Police burning everything inside.
People just storming into the grandstands and destroying everything.
Number 9, The Doors.
When you're a stranger, faces look ugly.
I want to tell you about something that happened just a few minutes ago right here in New Haven. Jim Morrison spoke those words on December 9th, 1967, moments before making rock history.
Hopefully, it'll be over in time for me to do a European tour.
Backstage before the show at the New Haven Arena, a police officer had found Jim kissing a young woman in a backstage area. Not recognizing the singer, the cop maced him directly in the face. Morrison recovered and performed the full set. But during Backdoor Man, he stopped mid-song and began ranting about police brutality, describing the officer who had maced him. Officers rushed the stage and arrested him in front of thousands of fans. He became the first rock star ever arrested on stage during a performance. Before we continue, which of these incidents do you remember most vividly? Did you ever witness a show that ended in chaos? Drop a comment and let us know. And while you're at it, tell us where you're watching from today. Number 8. The Who. Legendary performances at Monterey Pop, Woodstock, and the Isle of Wight. But on November 20th, 1973, at the Cow Palace in San Francisco, The Who experienced one of their strangest nights. During the final song, Won't Get Fooled Again, Keith Moon suddenly slumped over his drum kit. He had consumed animal tranquilizers mixed with brandy throughout the day. The band tried reviving him, but Keith was completely incapacitated. He was briefly roused, returned to play, then collapsed again during Magic Bus and was carried off permanently. Pete Townshend grabbed the microphone and asked the crowd a desperate question. Can anyone play the drums? I mean, somebody good? A 19-year-old fan named Scott Halpin came up and finished the show, playing the final 3 songs with The Who. Number 7. Judas Priest.
I saw the evening star rise up, shining out to sea.
Sin After Sin had just been released, establishing Judas Priest as one of Britain's premier heavy metal acts. Rob Halford's voice was becoming the stuff of legend. The band was building momentum that would eventually lead to Screaming for Vengeance and multi-platinum success. But during a 1977 performance, that momentum was threatened when an object thrown from the crowd struck Halford, forcing the band to cut the show short. The incident shook the band deeply and highlighted the dangers performers faced from unruly audiences. It led to discussions about stricter security protocols at future Judas Priest shows, measures that would become standard across the metal touring industry. Number 6. Rage Against the Machine. The PMRC had spent years trying to censor rock and metal music. Tipper Gore's crusade against explicit lyrics had put the entire industry on edge. At Lollapalooza 1993 in Philadelphia, Rage Against the Machine decided to fight back with the most powerful weapon they had. Silence. Walked on stage completely naked, with tape over their mouths and the letters PMRC painted on their chests. For 15 minutes, they stood producing nothing but amplifier feedback, refusing to play a single note. They were eventually escorted off by police. They never played a song that day. It remains one of the most powerful political statements in rock history. 5. Nirvana. At 24 years old, Kurt Cobain was already changing rock music forever. Nevermind was reshaping the industry. Grunge was exploding. But on October 19, 1991, at the Trees Club in Dallas, Kurt showed who he really was. During Love Buzz, Cobain stage dived into the crowd. A security guard grabbed him and tried to haul him back to the stage. Without hesitation, Kurt cracked the bouncer over the head with his guitar. The bouncer retaliated, punching Cobain and knocking him to the floor. Police swarmed in. The show ended in chaos. The incident became legendary proof that Kurt would not tolerate heavy-handed security at his shows. The show was over, but the message was clear. These stories are getting intense. Which band from this era left the biggest impression on you? Were you lucky enough to see any of these artists live before things went sideways? Let us know in the comments. Number 4. Skid Row. "18 in Life" had made Sebastian Bach a household name. Skid Row's self-titled debut sold 5 million copies. The band was touring arenas and dominating MTV. On December 27, 1989, at the Springfield Civic Center in Springfield, Massachusetts, the young frontman's temper became his downfall. Someone threw a bottle from the crowd that struck Sebastian Bach. The volatile singer picked it up and hurled it back into the audience, hitting a female fan and causing a serious head injury. The show was stopped immediately. Bach was arrested for assault. The incident became one of the most infamous moments of late 80s metal, a reminder that a split-second decision could derail a career. Number 3, Led Zeppelin. One of the biggest rock bands on the planet. On July 23, 1977, at the Day on the Green Festival in Oakland, Led Zeppelin's reign took a dark turn. Backstage, a Bill Graham employee confronted Peter Grant's young son Warren, who had been removing a dressing room sign. Accounts differ on exactly what happened, but the crew perceived it as an attack on the board. What followed was brutal. John Bonham, Peter Grant, bodyguard John Bindon, and tour manager Richard Cole beat the employee severely. He was hospitalized. The band played the second Oakland show the following day after forcing Bill Graham to sign an indemnification letter. On July 25th, all 4 assailants were arrested at their hotel, but it was the tragedy that followed that truly ended the tour. On July 26th, Robert Plant's 5-year-old son, Carrick, died of a stomach virus. Plant flew home immediately, and all remaining dates were canceled. Number 2, Black Sabbath. I can't remember entire tours, Ozzy Osbourne later admitted. During the Volume 4 and Sabbath Bloody Sabbath era, Black Sabbath's drug consumption became legendary and crippling. The band spent more on cocaine than on recording volume 4, running up a bill of roughly $75,000 against a recording budget of $65,000. Tony Iommi collapsed on stage at the Hollywood Bowl during the Volume 4 tour, forcing tour cancellations. Bill Ward has spoken about severe alcohol problems during this period. It's remarkable the band survived this era at all, let alone created classic albums during it. The drugs didn't just end shows, they nearly ended Sabbath. Number 1, Aerosmith. Toys in the Attic went 9 times platinum. Rocks became a hard rock classic. By 1976, Aerosmith ruled American rock. But heroin and cocaine were slowly destroying Steven Tyler and Joe Perry, the Toxic Twins. By the Draw the Line tour in 1977 and 1978, the band that once sold out arenas could barely function. Shows ended early when Tyler couldn't remember lyrics. Perry would stumble through solos. Some nights they'd cut sets short, too wasted to continue. The chaos eventually led to Perry's departure in 1979 and years of decline. But they got sober. Came back, and their comeback remains one of rock's greatest redemption stories.